Finally, 6 episodes later, we get to watch the first episode of Miraculous Ladybug Season 6. Will it answer the questions and fill in the holes created by watching the season out of order? Will we learn what magic words Ladybug used to get Chat to trust Felix without revealing any of his secrets? Will they clarify what the point of having a team of superheroes is if they don't fight villains? Will we learn where Ladybug pulled the name Ultra Kuma out of? Will Adrien actually do something? I'm so excited, aren't you? Okay, first scene. This is so sad. Adrien has changed the sleeping area to something out of depressed artwork and is trying to make pancakes to remember his father. Miracles upon miracles, this actually seems like it's gonna be an Adrien focused episode with him being depressed over his father's death and wondering what to do without being told. It's actually— oh shit, Marinette's here. Never mind. Okay. These two are adorable when we aren't doing the whole— I'd say slow burn, but that's an insult to burns. In order to help Adrien figure out what to do with himself, Marinette describes what passion is, and by what she says, her passion is following Adrien around. If the show tells you otherwise, it's lying. The gag of Gorilla spraying people trying to pry into Adrien's life was okay, but it got really funny when he followed them all the way to school just so he could do it to Vincent. Because, yeah, fuck Vincent. We also get to meet the villain of the episode. And I think this one line Aurore's friend Agreste says about a superstition to resist being akumatized when you're being sad is better world building than anything in the last 5 seasons of the show put together. Because, of course, people in Paris would have some reaction to the fact that being sad could turn you into a super terrorist and think of ways to prevent it. And it's a magical problem, so of course they would come up with magical, superstitious solutions. Too bad they waited until Monarch was defeated to come up with it. It's immediately followed by something that made me question what I was watching. Chloe having any positive reputation among Parisians. Because yeah, she was an evil dictator that was disowned by her horrible father, but do people know that? Because as far as most people know, she was akumatized for all of that, and you don't usually blame akumatized villains for what they do. So it's actually not that crazy that people don't recall at her presence. To most people who don't really know her, she just seems like a regular spoiled rich kid. I mean, just contrast Adrien's reputation with Adrien himself. The real crazy thing is that she has fans now. I swear, the only reason Chloe seems to be doing so well in life is to make sure no one feels sorry for her. It's like the show is running defense for Andre leaving her with her emotionally abusive mom by going, no, Chloe's actually doing fine. In fact, she's doing great. She's super popular and happy right now. So no, you don't have to feel like it's really off what happened in season 5. If anything, she still hasn't gotten her comeuppance and is still causing problems. After all that's happened, she's still causing problems. I genuinely thought coming into season 6 we'd finally be free of this character. Shows what I know, she keeps appearing on bootleg TikTok. Okay, I call it bootleg, but Aurore's failed attempts to gain popularity feels low accurate. It was so funny watching Agale talk about what a good person Aurore is and how she'd never stoop so low as to lie or create fake drama while we can see the evil thoughts forming in her head. Anyway, Adrien tries out a bunch of things to try and figure out what he's passionate about. If you've seen my video rewriting the show's power system, you know that my suggestion is that he should like destroying things to contrast Marinette's creativity. Posting happy pics get minimal reactions, but sad scandalous ones get a lot. This is incredibly true to life. As I was watching the episode, I couldn't help but think, Marinette and Adrien cannot find out about what she's doing because it would make the fact they don't understand why someone would lie about them in Revelator in episode 11 somehow make even less sense. For all her social climbing though, Aurore still falls short of the top spot and gets sad. Then she gets akumatized. Agale asks around about Aurore because they don't know where she is and oh shit, they found out. Okay, I guess I have to dock a few more points from Revelator now. Aurore turns into Climatic Queen. She's like stormy weather, but she makes people follow her on social media. Is that more evil than trying to destroy the whole planet? I can't lie, this might be the best action scene of the episodes of the season that are out so far. It's far more dynamic than the others and is focused on fighting a bad guy with an interesting power set. Best looking villain so far too. This train scene was awesome and Adrien looks so goddamn happy he gets to do something this crazy. In the midst of this fight, Adrien figures out what his passion is. It's the thing everyone who watches the show already knows is his passion. Being a superhero. Except for the times when he quits. I am really loving the way Lila talks to her victims inside their heads to manipulate them into working with her. Because Climatic Queen actually succeeds. She wins the popularity contest. But Lila talks her into continuing to be a supervillain by dangling even more popularity in front of her. And once again, we see that adding another Miraculous to the mix instantly makes winning easy. But this also reinforces my belief that the extra heroes are kind of a waste of time, as I will elaborate in a later video. Yeah, that's right, I have more shit to talk about the Pokemon. You know, I just thought about it, but Aurora's wish is kind of stupid. All she wants is an autographed copy of a book that, as far as I can tell, is publicly available. I feel like what she told Lila about not really caring about the book and just wanting to win the contest makes far more sense. It even matches how she felt about losing the contest in the first episode of the show. Wow, this whole episode really is a callback. How will Chloe even get her the book? Pay Max's mom? So the episode ends and everything seems happy, but Adrien decides he wants to pull a Forrest Gump and just starts running around instead of going home. And that's when he meets Sublime to oddly ominous music. This totally ties into that video I made about the secret ending of the show and Lila's true identity, I just know it. This episode was okay. It didn't really have that many flaws except for in the ways it makes future episodes worse. Why were Adrien and Marinette so confused at the idea people would lie about their relationship for popularity when they've already experienced it? Good god, imagine if this episode did air before Sublimation. The panic would have been glorious. And this isn't actually the first episode. I mean, it is, but it isn't. They're already expecting people to be akumatized. They're already calling them Ultra Akumas. They already have it so the Pokemon only come when they're called. This may as well be in the middle of the show. I've never seen a cartoon more dedicated to being out of order than this one. Which one of these episodes is supposed to be the one that explains the new status quo exactly? My money's on Queen of the Dread Zone. We know Mel Bustier gets akumatized before Illustrator, and right before the two-part finale sounds just about right for this show. Does Aurora really just go everywhere with that umbrella? She's moving like a Gotham villain the way she stays on theme. Okay, so the new characters. Love Aglae's whole dark depressed look, and she's already contributed more to the writing than half the existing characters. It would be so funny if it turned out she was Lila. I'd say Diane's look is a bit much, but I have a sister, so I actually believe it. We finally get Undine in something besides her swimsuit. I was beginning to think she lived in that pool. It's cute. Wait, is Kim smaller? I can't lie though, I appreciate the focus on Adrien in this episode. Without his dad, he doesn't really know what to do with himself, and for some reason, okay, we all know the reason, the only thing about his character the writers have actually nailed down after 5 seasons is that he loves Marinette. I think it's a bit predictable that the answer he's searching for is the thing we've actually watched him enjoy for the last 100+ episodes though, being a superhero. Unfortunately, this does make me kind of annoyed he's the only one not involved in the superhero mystery in the episode that comes directly after this. Speaking of the episode that comes directly after this, is this episode set before Illustrator 2 because it also makes Marinette's behavior in that episode even more baffling. Now I demand we actually see Adrien and Sublime interact as friends while Marinette is nowhere near them. The accumulation of this post-credits scene can't just be Marinette making a new friend, can it? Can't lie, if I didn't know this was the first episode, it would not have been that notable. For all the negatives I may talk about, this is the second best episode so far. It had good character writing, made the world building slightly more believable, good action, and managed to make Marinette a supporting character in Adrien's story without undermining him. You know, I had this crazy idea that if Lila really wanted to mess with the heroes and we want to push this ridiculous idea that it isn't incredibly obvious she wants their Miraculous, even though that's literally the first thing she went after in the Paris special, she could just take Aurora's Akuma back after she won the contest. It would have been a great twist on the formula to introduce in the first episode, like, yeah, this villain will actually honor their deals and won't just keep people akumatized until they can get the Miraculous. Think of all the implications of that. But you know, that's just me. These are my thoughts on this episode. What are yours? Tell me in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Shout out to my patrons A and Skyman. Thank you and good day.